Hello and welcome to the Daily Forex Report for November 4th. We're looking at the US EURUSD pair first. This pair gapped down just a little bit, had an extremely strong day on Friday. I am looking for a reversal. We've gotten down in the EURUSD to some strong support, and we are right around the 12800 mark. About 20 pips to go on that one. I do believe that's going to hold, and we're going to turn back around and head higher because this sideways action I don't think is over yet, and at least until we have some good news or bad news, depending on how the market will interpret it when the elections are finished here in the U.S. Now, what am I looking for specifically? I'm looking for a break of this first trend line to the upside, looking to buy at that point, looking for it to come up to our next trend line and then up to our next one. Now, this may take more than a day, placing a stop loss below the low of today, and that is pretty much what I'm looking for. Let me drop on down here. If you were to place a stop loss right below the at the 127.98 mark, depending on when this is actually broken, I'm on the 15-minute time frame, looking for a close above it on the 15-minute, by the way, using a risk of, if it triggers over the next hour or two, of about 43, looking to grab 47 up to 95. Definitely could happen all within one session as from a range perspective, but depending on where this goes, as you can see, the further along it goes, the less the risk is. 26 up to 55 up to 109. So due to the slant on these lines, the risk is going to go down as it tracks more time until it is broken. If we get a close below the 127.98 level on the 15-minute, at that point, most likely I'm looking for it to head to the downside. But I do believe that's going to hold, and we're going to get a reversal. And this reversal play we'll be able to grab 50 to 100 pips off of that one. Definitely going to break even when it hits the second trend line. Now let me back out of the way so you can see kind of my points of where I place these trend lines, so you can just get an idea. We have Friday's session, Thursdays, and here's Wednesday's previous session. Drew a trend line there, then another one here, and then a very steep one off of Friday's price action. I believe we're going to see it turn around and move higher, so you can profit with me if the market does that. Now, as far as news announcements go, we do have a few news announcements. We have at 10 a.m. Eastern, the U.S. ISM non-manufacturing composite being released for October. Consensus on that one is that it's dropped a little bit from 55.1 to 54.5. Then at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, we have the Reserve Bank of Australia releasing their rate decision. They're showing a drop, potential drop forecasted from 3.25% down to 3.00%. Of course, that would be negative news for the Australian dollar due to the carry trade. People will start bailing out of that the further it drops. So we could see some action in the Australian very late in tomorrow's session, early early Tuesday session. Well, that pretty much wraps us up. Well, let's go through first. Let's go through our pairs as far as what we're looking for as far as ranges go over the next session. You can see that the U.S.-Japanese yen pair is moving to the upside, pulled back, kind of moved sideways for a little bit. Broke through that on Friday, closed higher. We are looking for it to move higher, potentially going up, hitting resistance around 80.66. Possibly down, hitting support at 79.75. Then at the Euro-USD pair, talked about it. It's heading right down to support. We are looking for it to potentially pull back. If it breaks through that level, though, we could see it move lower, much quicker. Somewhat of an awkward head and shoulders formation. That trend line, though, was broken on Friday. Now, as far as price action, look for it to potentially go as high as 130.05, possibly as low as 127.03. Look for some resistance around 128.81 and look for some support around 128.00. Now, the pound US dollar pair, this pair closed to the downside on Friday, very strong movement to the downside. Long-term trend is to the downside. Keep that in mind. However, we are looking for it to potentially go as high as 161.82, possibly as low as 159.02. Look for some resistance around 161.32 and look for some support around 159.75. Now the US Swiss, this pair moved to the upside, very strong move on Friday. We are looking for it to potentially go as high as 0.9501, possibly as low as 0.9273. Look for some resistance around 0.9450 and look for some support around 0.9375. That pretty much wraps us up for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.